Hey guys, this is Phoenix and I'm back with another episode of my 1.7.10 Forge mining tutorial. Today we're going to make a custom fuel, which requires us to make a custom fuel handler. The reason I'm doing this episode instead of later is because we just finished with crafting, so it probably is it is probably a good idea to go ahead and add some fuels. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to create a new fuel handler. So if we go down to our handlers and we create a new Java class and we call it fuel handler. Inside of here we are going to extend, so extends the iFuel handler, and it's going to ask us to implement some methods, and come on, implement methods, thank you. Okay, and it's going to the only thing it's going to bring in is get burn time. And this is asking for an item stack fuel. So in order to get the information we need from this, let me actually first go and show you guys, or type out the information so that you guys know what each thing is doing here. So the most powerful fuel item in the game. Okay. I don't want, you piece of crap. Okay, sorry guys. Stuff randomly happening there. Okay, so let's go over the burn times for vanilla fuel items. First off, you have lava buckets. Lava buckets, which burn for 20,000 ticks. 20,000 ticks. And that smelts 100 items. So for every lava bucket, you can do 100 smelts, and that lasts for 20,000 ticks. So the next one is the block is a block of coal, and a block of coal works for 16,000 ticks, and that smelts 80 items. And then the next one after that would probably be the blaze rod, which smelts for 2,400 ticks, so 2,400, and that smelts 12 items. The next one after that would be coal and charcoal. Let's just do charcoal. Which smelts for 800 or 1,600 ticks, which is the equivalent of 8 items. And same with this one. So what if we wanted to go and create a chunk of charcoal which separates charcoal into 8? Let's go ahead and do the math of that. So first off, if we have this becomes 800 ticks, and that smelts 4 items. And then the next one after that would be 400 ticks, which smelts 2 items. And then you have 200 ticks, which is our target, smelting, that comes in a smelting of 1 item every piece. So let's go ahead and get an item set up for this real quick. We're going to come up here, or we're going to come down to items. We're going to create a new Java class, and we're going to call it fuels. Okay, under I spelled that entirely wrong, first of all. Delete. And I also put it under the wrong thing. So new Java class, F-U-E-L, fuels. So we'll put that there. And this extends our base items. And we're just going to import that constructor and get rid of that. And then we're going to go down to register items. And we're going to say, or I'm sorry, not register items, init items. And then we're going to add a new item to this. So backslash fuel. Okay, so public static final base items chunk of coal. Now we'll do chunk coal is equal to fuels chunk coal, and that is going to be all. Shouldn't that be all? Oh, new. I'm sorry. New fuels chunk coal. Okay. And then we can go ahead and register that under register items. We'll just come down here and create a new one here. Game registry dot register items. And we're going to call for our chunk coal, and we're going to feed it a name. Chunk coal, and we're going to change hose here to fuels. Okay. And then we're going to go down to our tutorial mod and register this guy. So register items dot fuel. There we go. And then now let's go back over to our fuel handler since we actually have the item. Now this calls for an item stack that we called fuel, or that the game called fuel for us rather. So let's go ahead and say if that item stack, so fuel, and we need to check, so we're going to get the item is equal to, so equal, and we're going to check to see if it is equal to our chunk coal. So we're going to say init items dot chunk coal. If it is, we're going to return 200. Otherwise, do nothing. And if you want to add more items to this, it's pretty easy to do. Just copy this, paste it here, change the item, change the time. And that'll keep adding more fuels. So, we do have a furnace recipe, if I can remember correctly. Let me double check that. Crafting, smelting, we do. Ore copper into ingot copper. So let's go. Let's go down to our our tutorial mod class, because the last thing we need to do is actually initialize that handler. So we're going to say underneath of everything else, including including the block registers, because we can use blocks as fuels, so we need this after it. So we're going to say register fuels. And we're going to do game registry dot register fuel handler, and that requires a new fuel handler, and that's all we have to do. If we go ahead and launch the game now, we're going to get an error because apparently that was a thing. The grass drops. I forgot. I went to do an episode on plants the other day, and it actually failed miserably at life because the recording cut off, not because the item didn't work. So I'm actually just going to delete the register drops here. delete it anyway. Down here we got this. Okay, we'll go over that in the next episode. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that now. Wait, why is it? Oh, right. No? Yes. Okay. I failed at life, that's all. But yeah, that episode was running so long. This is why I'm doing this one, because I'm trying to decide where it would be a good idea to cut for parts on that one, because it is pretty long. It like took me 2 hours. But anyway, let's go into a new world here, which is also why jute twine, this stuff isn't there. Now, if we go ahead and search in our crafting area here, we actually have chunk coal. We don't have an image for it yet. Let's actually do that real quick. To get that image, I've already made one for this tutorial. We're gonna call this okay, so that guy right there, we're just going to put him right into the items folder underneath of assets, items. Let's go ahead and put that in there. Chunk coal. Okay, we got that. Now let's go ahead and play, and I can show you that this is working. Or let's not. Let's actually go add another recipe to it real quick. Crafting. Shaped crafting. Shapeless crafting. I do want to get 8 of these out, so we'll do item. No, crap. We're going to copy this. We're going to change item copper to chunk coal. Let's see if there is a item for this. I think this one is still. No, that's no. Alright, so I'm going to run the game. It's probably not going to like me very much, and I'm just doing this so that I can get the ore dictionary names. No, there's no reason to. But let's get them anyway. What are you doing? Okay, so ore coal is that, and block coal. Is there any other coals? No. Apparently coal is not actually registered as a. Okay. That's fine. So I'm not going to change the recipe type. I'm just going to give it a items dot coal. Actually, it's I think any coal, because coal and charcoal are the same thing. Oh no, it's items dot. No, come on. Items dot coal, comma 1, comma 0. Because if we were to do this, if we were to do 2, and if we were to do 1 here, it would actually be charcoal instead. So we actually have, I'm assigning it as a item stack. So yeah, let's go ahead and try that out. Apparently it switched over to other things. So if I feed it coal, it should give me back a bunch of chunks of coal. And then those chunks of coal should only smelt a single item at a time. Come on, there we go. New world. Let's go ahead and grab a furnace. and some coal. And we'll grab some copper. Okay. So first off, if I take charcoal and put it in here, I shouldn't get anything, but coal should return those, even though I need to change that from 9 to 8, because right now we're actually getting too much back. Yeah, we'll get a lot. I think that's like 9 stacks right there, but let's go ahead and throw some of this in there. You see how it went directly into the furnace area. Then we can go ahead and throw this in on top of it. One of these should equal one of those. So when this is done smelting, this should be equal to nothing else. There. So 1 to 1. And that's how you register a fuel item. Anytime you want to add a new one, just copy the if statement and it'll add the new one into it. So 1 stack of this will equal 1 stack of anything in here. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I'm just going to quickly go to my shape lists crafting and change this from 8 or from 9 to 8, so we're getting the right amount of coal chunks. And yeah, so that is all we have to do. It's probably a good idea to actually move this up to here and that way you keep your ore dictionary recipes and your actual and your other recipes separate, and just change shape list recipe or recipe to shape shape list recipe. Alright, this is game registry dot add shape list. There we go. Which means that we don't actually have to have that, there we go. Okay, so that's all we have to do to create the fuel item. Is we need to create a fuel handler. Inside of fuel handler, we just call an if statement. If we had, let's say, charcoal, we could copy this, paste it here, and say chunk charcoal. Which we don't, but this would add a new register for the charcoal and have it smelt. It's one item as well. We could also make a block of charcoal, and we could put this as 1600, and that would smelt 80 items, or 16,000, I'm sorry, 16,000. That would smelt 80 items, which in my opinion is a bit high, since 8, we're not putting 10 items into this, we're only putting 9 items into that. So we should really remove some time from that, so it brings it down to 78, 72. But whatever. They were just going for simplicity, I guess. It's more efficient for a block of coal then. Anyway. So block coal, block of charcoal. Yeah, so that's how you would make a new registry for that. And you don't have to do anything down in the tutorial mod class, because let me get rid of this. We're registering the entire handler right here. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something there, and I'm up in the wrong things. I hope you guys learned something there, and I will see you guys in the next episode, where we will start talking about plants. Alright guys, see you later.